questions? The column vector notation. No, matrices. It's a matrix. Now let's look at this triangle here. So let's call it this is O, A, and B. If you use Pythagoras theorem, for the triangle OAB, so OA square will be equals to OB square plus BA square. So the OA square, we call it the modulus, the length of R, correct? OA square is simply the R. So let's make it easier. OA is the square root of OB square plus BA squared, correct? Agree? So I want to find only OA. Now what is OA here? OA is the modulus of R, which is the length of R, correct? OA is the length of R, or modulus, we said. Square root of OB. What is the length of OB? Is Rx square. This OB Rx square. And BA, that the length of BA is RY square. So that is a formula to calculate the modulus, the length, the magnitude of a vector. Okay? Any questions? Can I clean it up? Now, let's think about for the 3D space. Vector. Assume you have a 3D domain, 3D axis. and you have a vector R in a 3D domain somewhere here. And we said you have a unit vector in x direction, we call it a unit vector in x direction, a unit vector in x axis, which is, we call it as I, correct? We have a unit vector in y axis, call it j. And you have a unit vector in z axis, we call it k. Correct? Where I units vector equals to the length of unit vector j equals to your length for the unit vector k is equals to 1. And the direction identified x, y, z respectively. Now, if you take the projection of R over y-axis, that length called ry, correct? The projection of R in y-axis ry. Now, the projection of R in x-axis, what we have to do, we're gonna project first R in xy domain, the plane. And then that projection of R in xy will be projected in x and y then. So that length here will call as Rx, and then the projection of this O, for example, OA, of OA into Z, we call it RZ. So the Cartesian form for R will be Rxi with the projection of vector in x direction, or x-axis, plus Ryj, the projection of R in y, plus Rzk. Or in column, vector notation is Rx, Ry, and Rz. The modulus for the vector in 3D space will be square root of Rx square plus Ry square plus Rz square. It's easy, you can find it out from this triangle here. Let's call it OBA. From the OBA, you can find out the modulus, the length of the vector. Okay? Any question?